I've grown up on this show. I've gone through personal trauma and amazing things as well.
For 12 years, Kaley Cuoco made the whole world laugh with her unforgettable character Penny. She was the heart of the Big Bang Theory, bringing warmth, humor, and life to every episode. Millions tuned in each week, captivated by her charm and comedic timing. But while the world saw a woman who seemed unstoppable, few knew the struggles she carried behind the scenes. Behind Penny's laughter were heartbreaks, constant pressures, and personal battles that pushed her to the edge. Yet despite it all, she kept showing up, kept smiling, even on days when she felt like she had nothing left. To understand how one of television's brightest stars endured so much behind the spotlight, we have to go back to where it all began. The lost childhood. Born on November 30th, 1985, in Camarillo, California, Kaley grew up in a middle-class family. Her father worked in real estate, giving the family a comfortable life. Everything was perfect, but Kaley wanted more. She desired to escape ordinary life, to chase something extraordinary. At just 6 years old, she filmed her first Barbie commercial. While other kids practiced spelling in class, Kaley practiced smiling on cue. Her father drove her to auditions while her mother packed snacks and fixed her hair. Together, they watched their little girl become something extraordinary. Acting wasn't her only talent. Kaley was also a gifted tennis player, ranked among Southern California's top amateurs before she even turned 16. Mornings were spent on the tennis court, afternoons on set, evenings memorizing lines. There was no time for sleepovers, no time for just being a kid. She grew up on set. It became her second home. By age 10, she was sharing the screen with Hollywood stars, landing roles in Virtuosity and Picture Perfect. Every credit added sparkle to her resume, but it also dimmed a little of the childhood inside her. At 16, she made a choice. She put down her tennis racket and decided to devote herself entirely to acting. So how did that little girl, once clutching a Barbie doll, grow up to become one of television's biggest stars? Hollywood struggles. By the time she turned 18, Kaley was a familiar face in casting agencies, but not yet a star. She worked hard and gave countless auditions, but every time she heard the words, "Thank you, we'll call you," she landed a few minor roles. Yet the big break that would change her life still hadn't come. "Hollywood doesn't forgive being young," she would later say. "It just forgets you." Then, in 2005, she landed a role in the drama series Charmed. It wasn't superstardom, but after years of almost being noticed, she was finally part of something that mattered. She lit up the set. But when Charmed ended, the silence returned, and the struggle phase began once again. In 2006, she auditioned for a new sitcom about scientists and their neighbors. The role was called Katie. She gave it everything, but she got rejected. Directors told her she was too young, too bright for the show. It stung. It hurt deeper than most rejections. But Kaley didn't quit. A year later, she received a call. It was for the same role she was rejected from before. This time, the producers had rewritten the character, renamed her Penny, and wanted Kaley back. From the moment she stepped on set, everything clicked. Kaley fit the show perfectly. She wasn't acting, she was just being herself. With the premiere of The Big Bang Theory in 2007, the world finally started to recognize her. Season by season, the show became a cultural phenomenon, watched by millions. Kaley became a household name. It was the role she had dreamed of, the one that showed her whole life. And suddenly, she wasn't just a young actress anymore. She was a star. The world finally knew her name. But success came with its own pressure. Every move Kaley made, every role she took, was watched and judged. The cameras, the interviews, the endless attention. It was exciting, but also exhausting. Still, every week, she walked onto that set and gave her best performance every day, even when her own life was quietly cracking behind the scenes. The incomplete love story. In the early seasons of The Big Bang Theory, something unexpected happened. Between takes, in the quiet moments away from the cameras, Kaley Cuoco and Johnny Galecki found themselves drawn to each other. It started with small jokes, late-night conversations, and little notes left in each other's scripts. Slowly, they began to fall in love. For the first time in years, she felt truly seen, but no one else could know. Those early days felt golden, and work didn't feel like work anymore. It felt like home. Still, producers worried, and paparazzi lingered outside the studio gates. They did their best to keep the relationship a secret. Over time, the secrecy became a burden. They loved each other, but they couldn't be normal. Every smile in public had to hide the truth. Eventually, their relationship ended. No one knew. The cameras kept rolling, and they still kissed on screen while their real relationship quietly fell apart. There was no betrayal, she'd say later, just exhaustion. The romance faded into friendship, but the marks it left followed her into every relationship afterward. The heartbreaks. After her quiet breakup with Johnny, Kaley was craving peace. In 2013, she met professional tennis player Ryan Sweeting, a man with gentle charm and a warm steadiness that felt safe. Their connection was instant. "When you know, she said. 6 months later, they married under twinkling lights on New Year's Eve. But real life doesn't bow to fairy tales. But life didn't cooperate. Ryan's career collapsed. Kaley tried to hold everything together, their home, their marriage, the weight of his struggles, while hiding her own pain. Eventually, the home they built no longer felt like a home at all, and by 2015, she filed for divorce. And just like that, this relationship also ended. After the divorce, Kaley wasn't sure she believed in love anymore. But in 2017, she met Carl Cook, a man far from Hollywood, a horseman who lived in fields instead of under bright lights. They married in 2018 and built a quiet life in hidden hills, filled with animals, slow mornings, and simple joy. But her long filming days kept her in the city, while Carl's ranch life kept him in the countryside. They called it independence, until independence became distant. "We didn't fight," she said. "We just lived different lives." Their distance kept growing, and they parted ways in 2021, leaving Kaley in the same quiet emptiness she had felt after her first heartbreak. Even after love slipped away, Kaley's struggles didn't stop. Behind the smiles and laughter, deeper pains lingered, leaving marks that stayed with her forever. The hidden battles. Before Penny and before her fame, Kaley was a teenager who starred in 8 Simple Rules. Her on-screen father was John Ritter, who also became her mentor. He guided her through the challenges of early Hollywood, offering support and encouragement at every step. In 2003, he collapsed on set. At first, everyone thought it was a joke, then panic, sirens. But when he reached the hospital, he was gone. Kaley was shattered. "He was the heartbeat of everything," she said. Losing him left a wound that never fully healed. Alongside that grief, she carried the quiet weight of her mother's ongoing health struggles. She grew up strong, holding her family together even when her own heart was heavy. Life tested Kaley at every turn, and she came out strong, but it was never easy. In September 2010, at the height of the Big Bang Theory, a horseback riding accident nearly ended everything. It was supposed to be just another routine ride, a brief escape from her busy schedule, but the unthinkable happened. The horse spooked during a scene, throwing her off in an instant. Her leg shattered on impact. She was rushed to emergency surgery, and doctors had to insert metal rods to rebuild her leg. The pain was intense, and recovery was uncertain. But just weeks later, she returned to set, determined, quietly hurting, limping through scenes while hiding the pain behind Penny's signature smile. After 2 marriages, heartbreak, and traumas that slowly shaped the edges of her life, Kaley Cuoco eventually found something she never expected: peace. In 2022, she met actor Tom Pelphrey. It wasn't a crazy romance. It felt calm and familiar, like she had known him before. Their relationship was steady, gentle, and real. Then came a miracle she never imagined. Her daughter, Matilda, was born in March 2023. When she held her for the first time, everything felt still. "It was like meeting the person who had been missing from my life," she said. Today, after everything Kaley has faced, she lives life on her own terms, shaped not by heartbreak or fame, but by strength and self-discovery. Kaley Cuoco's journey has been anything but ordinary. From a child chasing auditions to a teenager navigating the pressures of Hollywood, and finally to a woman facing heartbreak, loss, and personal battles, she has confronted it all with resilience and grace. Today, Kaley stands as a symbol of strength, determination, and the quiet courage it takes to keep moving forward, even when the world only sees your smile. So, which part of Kaley Cuoco's journey inspires you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, ensure you give it a thumbs up. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, because we will be uploading more crazy stories like this one in the coming weeks. Until then, see ya!